Infinite was crawling down into the basement, the damp stone walls pressing closer as the air grew heavier with each step. Shadows flickered like they had lives of their own, and the faint cries of children echoed somewhere deep below. If you don't know who Infinite is, he is a stickman, born in a universe apart from ours. From birth, he carried the ancient marks of power across his body. But for years, they were nothing more than scars of destiny that mocked him. No strength, no gift, no place in the world. When his father died, everything changed. From the fading body of his father, a glowing orb fell into Infinite's hands. The moment he absorbed it, fire surged through his veins, and the impossible became real. He had strength beyond comprehension, and with it, a curse he did not yet understand. Among his marks appeared one no one else had ever seen: the Emperor's Mark. That mark bound him to the Emperor's flame, an endless red fire unlike anything else. It didn't burn like ordinary flame. It sharpened, quickened, empowered. Wrapped around his legs, it made him faster than the eye could follow. Flowing into his eyes, it revealed every motion of his foes. But it was also dangerous. Most who used red flame had only a limited reservoir. Once it ran dry, they fell into madness, cursed to lose themselves forever. But Infinite was different. He had infinite flame. Only 3 in all of history had ever held such power: the true Emperor, the unknown killer who had taken Infinite's family, and now, Infinite himself. Yet even with such gifts, life was cruel. His family gone, shunned by the world, he grew up as an outcast. At 14, when his powers first awakened, they were wild and untamed. He hurt people without meaning to. He became the target of fear, ridicule, and bullying. For years, he carried that weight alone. But by 17, he had trained himself, learned control, learned to fight. And on his journey, he found a companion, Void, a wielder of darkness itself, whose black holes could devour light and erupt with terrifying force. And now, here he was again, alone in the dark, walking deeper into the trap of his past. At the bottom of the basement, he found them, the missing children, locked in cages. But guarding them stood 2 infamous names whispered across the land: the Jade Demon and the Soul Reaper. Infinite, Jade Demon hissed, his jade-covered hands glowing with cruel power. Your flame ends tonight, the Soul Reaper croaked, raising his cursed sickle. Infinite lunged forward, determined to free the children. But the villains moved as one. Jade Demon's jade-covered strike pierced deep into Infinite's side, forcing blood from his lips. He ignited the Emperor's flame instinctively, red light blazing along his arms. But he had already spent too much in earlier battles. His reserves were dangerously low. Only 20% remained. He struck with burning fists, slamming Jade Demon back into the wall, then turned just in time to block the Soul Reaper's sickle, but not without cost. The blade carved into his back. Gritting his teeth, he poured flame into the wound to heal, watching his reserves drop to 18%. Each attack consumed more of his flame. A flurry of punches knocked the Soul Reaper sprawling, but his flame dropped to 14%. The children cried from behind the bars, their voices fueling his resolve. Yet his strength dwindled with every breath. Finally, he struck too deep into his reserves, down to 1%. His body trembled, his healing faltered, and then 0. The curse awoke. The red flame within him twisted black, crawling into his soul. Infinite's mind blurred, the difference between friend and enemy erased. Anger drowned reason. When he awoke again, the basement was silent. The Soul Reaper lay on the ground, broken beyond recognition. The Jade Demon stood across the room, clutching a lifeless child in his arms, staring at Infinite with horror. Infinite's heart shattered. You killed them, he roared, his voice shaking the walls. The Jade Demon's eyes widened. No, Infinite, it wasn't me. It was you. Infinite's breath caught. His hands were stained with blood not his own. His body shook, torn between rage and denial. He seized Jade Demon by the throat, his voice breaking as he shouted, "Stop lying!" His grip tightened, fury consuming him, until with a final crack, Jade Demon's resistance ended. Then silence. Infinite fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face, the weight of the curse heavy upon him. He had sworn to protect. But now, had he become the very monster he hunted? In the darkness of the basement, Infinite wept, his emperor's flame flickering faintly. No longer the symbol of hope he believed it to be, but a reminder of the curse he could never escape.